What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Kind of wanted to just make a video, talking about the topic. I kind of like did a video like this, but then I got rid of it, taking up too much space. So I want to kind of keep this nice and condensed, and it's talking about learning to humble yourself. So I'm gonna give y'all a good, long-winded story example, but remember the theme: learning to humble yourself. So I've been working for 3 years of my life since I was 18. I'm 21 now, and what I most of that time I've been working, with the exception of the last handful of months. What I've been doing is a long process of dealing with pride, resentment, love, betrayal, or it felt like betrayal. It wasn't genuine betrayal, but it felt like betrayal. And so many different negative emotions, but there was also some good in that. There were lessons to be learned in that. And that is that you can't control everything no matter how hard you try. When you got other people around you, you can't control them. The only thing you can have is faith or hope that they won't mess you over and ruin things for you. The only thing you have true control over is yourself. And in that time of me working, in the last few years of me working, right, I was taking care of my mother and my brother. When I say take care, I mean financially. I'm paying all the rent basically. When everybody else is working, they spent it on some bull crap. I mean, they helped me here and there, but it wasn't anything really like, it was like in the long run, I basically put out thousands of dollars over the course of a couple of years, trying to make sure that I keep a roof over our heads, right? And for a while, I held a lot of resentment, pent up resentment, because I never showed it. I never showed my anger. I was never wrathful. I did my best to not be petty. I didn't go out of my way to hurt them and beat them down while everyone's dealing with their own demons. Now, I'm not making excuses for them, because I don't have any excuses for them. There is no real excuse. But I'm just saying that I can understand. I still have compassion, regardless of everything that happened, even though I felt like I was left alone to dry when I could have had help. And, help from so many different times from different people when, they were around but chose not to help, and they just watched me. I still pushed through. I didn't give up. I wanted to so many times. So many times I was that close to giving up. But I kept going because I knew that the moment I gave up, I'd be back on the streets. Because I know what that's like, and that joint freaking sucks. I would be out of a job, and I won't make any money. And I know what it's like to have basically no money, because I didn't grow up with a whole lot of money in my house. Like, I know what them struggle meals are like. I know what it's like to eat noodles, man. I remember when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I was sitting there and all we had was pasta. We had pasta and ketchup and mustard. I remember we had rice and ketchup. Like, I remember having noodles, and I remember sitting there eating my noodles dry, just take them out the pack, and I'm just chomping on them things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got my little bit of experience. I'm not trying to sit there and glorify that, because that kind of sucks. But my mom always made a way she always made a way for me and my twin brother and my older sister and my older brother. And she had to humble herself when she didn't want to keep going, because she's a single mother. But I watched that woman continue to work and work. And even the time she wasn't working, she sat there and worked behind the scenes to make our birthdays dope. She worked behind the scenes to sit there and make sure that we had Christmases. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff. And, up until a certain point, and she just couldn't keep doing it anymore. A little bit disappointing. But my point is that there was a certain level, I know there was a certain level of pride that came with it, and she's just like, I'm not doing this no more. I don't want to have to do this. But she kept doing it, and I admire that example. And my older brother, I love you, bro, where anytime he failed in life, relationships, You know what I'm saying? Because he was a guy who lost his way, and he's got me and my twin bro by 17 years, nearly 20 years, right? So I watched him. He's like a father figure to me because he always was patient with us. And the times where he kind of wasn't, he still tried to be kind and compassionate and really stick it through with us because we were being hard-headed little kids that didn't know how to deal with their emotions. And because of those two examples, I learned that when you fail, you get on the ground, you land on the ground, you keep getting back up and you keep on fighting for what you love and what you believe and what you want and what you desire. And that job, when I lost it and I ended up having to move, back into the job when I lost it, when we had to move, right? We had to move a few months ago, and I'm just like, oh, thank God I'm away from my family. Thank God I'm away from people constantly asking me for money. And then I'm staying, over at a friend's house right now. And what I'm doing now is trying to save my money, do the best I can, because I'm not the best guy with money. And I'm trying to stop being so arrogant about my shortcomings and being resentful and learn to have compassion. And when I lost my job, I was comfortable and I was mad that I lost that comfort. I was mad that something that I somewhat started taking for granted, I lost it. And for a month, I was out of a job. So this past September, up until the last couple of weeks before this video goes out, I was out of a job, and I was like, there's no way, fine, I'm never going back to that job. I'm gonna sit there and make sure that I get me another job, and then I'm gonna be looking, and nobody ever got back to me despite so many job applications being put in. And then the one place I didn't want to go back to, the same place that fired me, because I talked to them the week after I got fired and they told me they'd have a job for me, and they didn't hit me up, but they finally did. And I was working, and I started working a job that I really didn't want to work. I was told it was stressful, and it can be, but that's a job. And I didn't want to take the job. I wanted my comfort back. I wanted the original job position I was trying to get back to. I wanted my comfort, but that wasn't happening. So I had to humble myself and be like, don't let your pride and your ego get in the way of you trying to make your life better. So I took it and I got the job. I'm working the job. I'm actually on my lunch break right now recording this, as I have been the past several videos, except for the last one. And every day I have to make sure I don't complain, because I have to tell myself, right when I start complaining and talking about my legs and my feet and my ankles are in pain, I'm like, dog, you worked outside before this, and plus you don't get to sit down, so you mad that you lost your comfort? These people that you're working with, or that you're doing the same job as, they've been here longer than you, right? They were new at a point and they kept going and they kept going, and now look at where they are, right? They know how to do this, so why can't you do it? Don't complain. Don't let your pride and your ego and your little emotions get in the way of you trying to make your life better. Learn to humble yourself. You're not too good for anything, because you could be at the bottom, scraping at the bottom, and guess what? The only way back from down is up, right? So why can't you do something you don't want to do? Because it's all in service of what you really want to do later down the line, because that way you could pick up a skill now that you didn't think you were going to need and use it, and it could apply to something later on in the things that you actually do want, and then it'll make your life all the better for it. So learn to humble yourself. You're never too good for anything, because you could be at the bottom. You could lose everything like that. And then the thing you thought you were too good for might be your only way back up. And we got to do it. So try your best to not complain too much. Take things one day at a time, one step at a time. And no matter what you do, you will be fine. As long as you keep going, you believe in yourself, regardless of what others tell you. Because right here on this channel, we about self-identity, self-discovery. So that means, who are you when you remove yourself from your environment? Who are you when you're not around your friends, around your family, around other people that can help you, give you wiggle room to hide the real you. When you're by yourself, who are you? If you don't know who that is, you might have to be alone a little bit more often. Get out there, go outside, go to the store by yourself, go take trips by yourself, go learn to meet people, which is what I'm trying to do now. And I'm a bit of an introvert, but I love to talk to people. And that's something it seems daunting, but eventually I'm going to have to do it in order to make my life better. So, and all that to say, again, learn to humble yourself. You're never too good for anything. And, just again, you keep going and just realize again, you're going to be good. You're going to be fine. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it, because you're sabotaging yourself. Who are you when you're away from everyone else? Figure out who that person is. And you will find out how strong that person in you, the real you, really is. Stop hiding yourself. Because if people don't like it, oh well. What are they offering you at the end of the day? What do they do for you? Ultimately, are they paying your bills? Are they putting the clothes in your back, food in your mouth? Like, what are they doing for you? And even then, do they make you feel good about you? Not make you, because I don't think anyone can make you anything. Do they help you feel good about yourself? Because if not, you're around the wrong people. Are you around people that believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself? If not, get away from them. If they don't have your best interest at heart, get away from them. I'm just saying. So, that's all I gotta say. And it's about to be time for me to go back into work. So I love y'all. Y'all keep it safe. Y'all keep it safe. Y'all stay strong. Just one more day. Just do one step. And after you take that step, one more step. After that one more step. Think about it that way. Break it down and make it easier for you to just give yourself checkpoints, because the goals can be daunting. The end of the week can be daunting. So one day at a time, like that, hour by hour. How do you maximize your time and make it all productive and make it a day that you won't regret? Make it great. Make it great. And keep moving with love, joy, peace, and positivity. And don't let anyone take that away from you. And if anyone try, guess what? Remove yourself. If they ask you questions, you don't have to explain yourself to them. A lion does not concern itself with sheep. Remember that.